Serpa apresenta uma exposição de pinturas de John Bird, um artista nascido no país de Gales em 1943. Estes trabalhos manifestam a experiência do confronto com a paisagem natural, a visão do mar e a luz próprias da Praia da Adraga, na zona de Sintra, onde o artista se fixou no início de 1994, propositadamente para preparar esta exposição.
So, what interested me is the fact that this is really a pyramid from here that sits in the water. And when the light is at this time in the day, it really is a black void, an inert mass that's a complete counterpoint in terms of its shape and its materiality to what the water is. It's like dark and dangerous exotica. It's like an impregnable majesty. And it's a metaphor for many things. And when I gratuitously came across the words of Goethe's poem to Schubert's choral piece, Soul of man, how like you are to the water, fate of man, how like you are to the wind. The rock, when you eliminate any other features that are revealed towards the edge of the coast, becomes very ambiguous, because it could be 1 meter high or it could be 5 kilometers high, and that's very important, the kind of world that exists there. I know it from here. I don't want to know it in any other way, because the ambiguity is a very important part of it. And as I move around the cliff face, I have about 12 different positions that I work from. The three-dimensionality of the rock becomes flattened into an emblematic quality. And the emphasis of the 45-degree from left to right switches from right to left. So there's this constant polarization and plane of opposites. coming here is almost like coming as far as you can when you're in that westerly point of something. You feel as if everything else in the landmass behind you pushes right up to the edge of your shoulders. And you come, as it were, with, and I mean this in the most positive sense, with a strong knowledge and awareness of a whole history behind you, and the history of painting and sculpture in particular. And that's very important to me as a point of measure, not as something that is to do with imitation, but is something that's to do with a confirmation. And you feel when you stand on the edge of something like that it's up to you to move further ahead, to make the failures in order to try and create some new things. And so it's a very wonderful feeling. It's sort of all there before you. You know, we live in cities most of the time, so coming here and working in this beautiful environment has very positive advantages for us. We get more work done. But I'm still drained by the energy of this place, and in that sense I think it's very similar to that power that you find in a big city. And sometimes we come here and it's very different from now. It's very frenetic now. The noise is the thing that drains you, I guess. But some days we come and everything is quiet, like a deafness pervades. And all you see, or the first thing perhaps that you experience, is like a dark band in the water that moves towards you. And as it gets larger, wider, it becomes darker. And then the edge of it seems to become very, very sharp, razor sharp, until that point of finality where it breaks. And then it becomes something else. It's an entropic wave. It's like this rock, which is an orchestration of submission and reaffirmation. And that destruction, in order to bring about something new, is essential. It's an essential act of confidence. And I think it's how the pictures are made. And it relates, that whole process relates, that experience relates very closely to the way I make the paintings. For the first time, for almost 20 years, although I began to work directly from something that was in front of me when I was in Madrid a couple of years ago, for the first time in 20 years, I've devoted a large length, a large period of time to working from something that's very tangible and something I can return to and have as a measure something that I keep coming back to. So that act of scrutiny and have persistence and observation is very important. You know, the word autopsy the derivation of it, autoopsis, actually meant to see for oneself. And there's an interesting quote from Zola when he talked about almost the sort of frenzied passion and enjoyment that people had when they visited the morgues, when the morgues were open, and people could see the bodies being dissected. And they rubbed their hands with glee and said, gee, that was a good morning, and went off.